Well, welcome back to special edition from the bench. It's been a wild week. It's been a wild month or two for me. So let's get ready to bullshit. We're going to be talking about making. We're going to be talking about veterans. We're going to be talking about Facebook. So, been a woodworker for a long time. Used to do turnkey buildings. Somewhere along the way, I fell into eBay and killed it. Then I got into the Facebook tool groups. Been very active amongst, the antique hand tool groups for a long time. A lot of people say, oh, Facebook, I can't go anymore. It's too political, it's too this, it's too much bullshit. And they got a point. But the Facebook groups and the Facebook community and the Facebook, skilled tradesmen are an amazing network of people worldwide. And I fell into a group, Can I Have It? May of 2020. And I admin that group. I've been a founding member. When I joined, we had 500 members. Now we have 14,000 members. We've been alive for 2.5 years. In my opinion, it's the original, except no imitations. We're the best. Love our group. 14,000 strong. Can't go wrong. So every year in November for Veterans Day, we do a fundraiser for the same nonprofit. The nonprofit is Wounded Waters. And Wounded Waters is a special organization by the man, Kevin Klepek. We love you. We love what you're doing. He started this service for veterans and for first responders and their families back in 2017. It was in Fort Campbell, Kentucky, where he was taking, vets and service people out of the water as a way to cope with PTSD. And guy turns to him on the dock after, says, I want to thank you. And he's like, yeah, it's nothing. He's like, no, I really need to thank you. I was planning to go home and kill myself tonight. But, I kind of changed my mind. So thank you. And just like that, Wounded Waters was born. This helping people cope with PST, being on the water, called saltwater therapy. So far, our group, Can I Have It, has raised some good. I think we've raised $60K over the last 3 years. We're just a little shy of our goal this year, but we're really pushing to it. And, where does all that money go? Kevin's taken 80 vets out on fishing trips this year alone. He's certified 12 people to dive, and he's only growing. So we support you, brother. We support you a lot. So let's talk about what I had made this year and what I made last year for such said group. I've made these coin banks, I call them, for a while now, 10 years. And I've made about one every year. I made one last year for Wounded Waters. So this is the box. It's a niche specialty of mine. It's a fetish object. It's special. And it needs a little oil right now to show you how beautiful it really is. Because this video is really about the box. And everything else is ancillary. So, this is some of the finest oil I know. This is Skelton Saw's peacock oil. I hand applied over 50 coats of French polish shellac. I've been using shellac for 20 years. I love shellac. It's great. So I take these P.O. box doors and custom make boxes. I put all the little hardware and tricks and bling, and that's a whole nother story. But this was made 98% by hand without using a power tool. Everything on it. And that was all hand and eye method as well. I barely used a tape measure. I never used a square. I didn't even check for 45. The coolest thing about making these boxes, which is something I've been getting into a lot in the last year and more, is using a miter guillotine. It's an unplugged way to cut a perfect miter every time. We've all seen wood shavings from hand planes, but you've never seen shavings like this. This thing is boss. It's a Lion Machine Co. Bridgeport. Miter guillotine, universal trimmer number 4, patented in 1900, so it's 110 to 5 years old, 120 years old. Ka-chunk. So it's set, you just go. But with Coinbox, this is my second edition. I made a couple last year. The first year for Wounded Waters, I sold some custom cutting boards and some other stuff. Zach Schumann, our very own Zach Schumann, had these stout, beautiful coins made in a limited run of 100 only. They have all the heft and shine, but he serialized them all 1 through 100. And he was saving coin number 1 for the Veterans Weekend, and the bidders turned out and bid big. We did a package with a Morgan silver dollar, and all the change and cool coins I've had for years are in this box, with other treats. So that was cool. And the way that I make these boxes now, we're going to get a little more of the design element, is, I just cut a carcass to start. And afterwards, I have stashes of old antique hardware. This would be a pocket door, like a French door. It actually is a pocket French door pull that I cut out. There's a patent date on the back from 1870. This thing's old as dirt. This is a P.O. box door from 1960 exactly. I put some little coins and bling. This was an old pocket level, a Stanley pocket level. MJ, Johnny on the spot with the idea. It's got a great coin slot, so this box has some character. It'll shake out a coin every once in a while. A shout out to the Zach Schumann. So I started adding things to this box as I'm going, and the reason this is on the bottom is because I was looking for a good idea for a skid plate. So when you move this around in your bookshelf or your desk, wherever you display it, you're not going to scratch the whole bottom up. And this was late in the game. I'd already cut this. And I had about 20 other ideas for this box, but in the end, you got to keep it simple, stupid. And in the end, all I chose to do, and the high bidder agreed, was to put a couple of scutcheon plates. Now, when I had a little more time, I'd drill some holes, and maybe I'll still drill some holes if SM, you want me to drill some holes and take a little time and make it perfect? I'd be happy to, but it's your discretion. So French polish is a whole art. I might do a series on that. I've done some posts in Unplugged Woodworkers. Facebook groups are the best tool groups. I got this miter box chopped saw from my very own Anthony Sinaglia, who I love and adore to death. So, in closing, you got to keep your slots clean when you're going to play with your box. This was sold for an Anything Goes week. It's not technically a tool. We're pretty focused in our group, but we do double entendre jokes. Anything Goes weekends where you can sell anything. If it's in your garage, you want to clean out, it's not a tool. We only do it quarterly, usually. So look for new coin boxes from me coming up. This is a Can I Have It exclusive. Now, when we say Can I Have It exclusive, we support makers and builders in our group. We have several members and makers that only sell their tools in our group. Charlie Ernst of Spring Green Sawworks. Lovely man doing beautiful work that no one else can dare to imagine doing. Will only sell his custom saws in our group. That's the kind of love and loyalty we have in our group. So next week, look for a special box. Next Anything Goes. I am available for commissions. That happens. For example, this box, which, Steven, I'm sorry to show you up like this, but this one's bigger, and it's going to have a couple little tricks. And when it's done, BK, it's going to be all yours. And I got 2 more exactly like this lined up. One is going to be in the Can I Have It tool and auction sales group. At auction, for the next Anything Goes weekend, which is in January sometime. So stay tuned. Go join. Go start some shit. Call someone a son of a bitch.
Достаточно неуместно одетые девушки. Вот они в латекс